In the pages of ancient history, few figures stand as prominently as the legendary conqueror, Alexander the Great. His name echoes through the corridors of time, a symbol of unparalleled military prowess, strategic genius, and a thirst for conquest that knew no bounds. As we embark on this journey through the life of Alexander, it is not merely a tale of conquests and empires, but a saga that shaped the very course of history. Alexander's upbringing. In the dusty halls of ancient Pella, nestled in the heart of Macedon, a child destined for greatness drew his first breath in 356 BCE. Born to King Philip II and Queen Olympias, Alexander entered the world at a time when the echoes of clashing swords and political intrigues resonated through the kingdom. His birth, celebrated amidst the opulence of the royal court, heralded the dawn of an era that would be forever shaped by his extraordinary destiny. The blood coursing through Alexander's veins carried the weight of a storied lineage. His father, King Philip II, a shrewd strategist and unifier of Macedon, had set the stage for expansion and dominance. Queen Olympias, a woman of regal stature and rumored mystical connections, imparted an air of mystique to Alexander's heritage. The blend of Macedonian royal blood and the purported lineage tracing back to the semi-divine hero Heracles fueled the narrative of Alexander's destined greatness. As a child, Alexander grew up amidst the political machinations of the court. The courtiers whispered tales of his divine ancestry, fostering in him a sense of entitlement and destiny. The turbulent dynamics of the royal court provided an early education in power, politics, and the art of wielding influence lessons that would serve him well in the years to come. The turning point in Alexander's early life came with the arrival of a figure whose influence would shape the very core of his being, the philosopher Aristotle. In 343 BCE, at the age of 13, Alexander found himself under the tutelage of one of the greatest minds in history. Aristotle, a pupil of Plato and the teacher of kings, undertook the daunting task of molding the young prince's mind. Under Aristotle's guidance, Alexander delved into a world of knowledge that transcended the battlefield. The philosopher instilled in him a love for literature, philosophy, and the arts. The famed philosopher's teachings were not confined to abstract ideas. Rather, they were tailored to equip the future conqueror with the intellectual acumen required to govern an empire. Aristotle's influence extended beyond the realms of academia. He nurtured in Alexander a strategic mind, honing his ability to analyze situations, make decisions, and envision the long-term consequences of his actions. This multidimensional education laid the groundwork for Alexander's later accomplishments, transforming him into a ruler who could wield both the sword and the pen with equal proficiency. While Aristotle contributed to the intellectual and strategic facets of Alexander's upbringing, Queen Olympias, his mother, shaped the young prince's character and instilled in him a sense of divine purpose. Olympias, a woman of strong will and an enigmatic aura, held sway over the court and left an indelible mark on her son's psyche. Legend has it that Olympias, deeply entrenched in the mysticism and religious practices of the time, conveyed to Alexander a sense of divine ancestry. She instilled in him the belief that he was more than a mere mortal, destined for greatness beyond the comprehension of ordinary men. This belief in his divine heritage would become a driving force throughout Alexander's life, spurring him on in moments of adversity and doubt. Olympias's influence, however, was not limited to the spiritual realm. She played a key role in shaping Alexander's political understanding, imparting the intricacies of courtly intrigue and the importance of maintaining a network of loyal supporters. The formidable queen, with her mix of charisma and political acumen, left an enduring legacy in the psyche of her son. Alexander's ascension to the throne. The rise to power of Alexander the Great is a narrative steeped in the political intrigue and military prowess of ancient Macedon. His ascension to the throne marked a pivotal moment in history, setting the stage for a reign that would reshape the known world. The journey to power began with the sudden and unexpected demise of his father, King Philip II, in 336 BCE, leaving the 20-year-old Alexander to navigate the treacherous waters of Macedonian politics and military leadership. The year was 336 BCE, when the news of King Philip II's assassination reverberated through the corridors of power in Pella. In the wake of this seismic event, the young Alexander found himself thrust into the limelight as the heir to the Macedonian throne. The transition from a prince molded by the teachings of Aristotle to the ruler of a kingdom on the cusp of unprecedented expansion was swift and challenging. Alexander, undeterred by the political upheaval that surrounded his father's death, swiftly secured the loyalty of key military commanders and aristocrats. His decisive actions not only quelled potential rebellions within the Macedonian ranks, but also sent a clear message to external adversaries that the young monarch was a force to be reckoned with. In a masterstroke of political acumen, he consolidated his power, securing the throne and embarking on a mission to fulfill what he perceived as his divine destiny. One of the early tests of Alexander's mettle came in the form of the Battle of Cheronea in 338 BCE, a confrontation that would prove instrumental in solidifying his grip on the throne. This clash between the Macedonian forces, led by the young Alexander and his regent Antipater, and an alliance of Greek city-states, marked a critical juncture in his ascent to power. The Battle of Cheronea showcased not only Alexander's military prowess, but also his ability to command the respect and loyalty of seasoned generals and soldiers. Against the formidable Theban and Athenian forces, Alexander's strategic brilliance emerged as a decisive factor. The Macedonian phalanx, a military formation perfected by his father, carved through the enemy ranks with precision, earning Alexander accolades for his leadership on the battlefield. Victory at Cheronea not only solidified Alexander's claim to the throne, but also served as a testament to his innate ability to navigate complex military situations. The triumph resonated beyond the borders of Macedon, sending a message to rival Greek city-states and potential external adversaries that Alexander was a military commander of unparalleled skill. The foundations of Alexander's military prowess and strategic acumen were laid during his formative years under the tutelage of his father, King Philip II. Philip, a visionary monarch and military strategist, recognized the potential within his young son and took personal responsibility for his education and training. Philip II, himself a seasoned military commander, spared no effort in imparting the art of war to Alexander. Under his father's watchful eye, Alexander received hands-on training in military tactics, cavalry maneuvers, and the intricacies of command. The Macedonian phalanx, a formation characterized by its tightly packed infantry, became Alexander's martial forte under Philip's guidance. Beyond the martial aspects, King Philip instilled in Alexander the importance of diplomacy, statecraft, and the delicate balance required for ruling a diverse and expansive kingdom. The young prince absorbed these lessons with a keen intellect, laying the groundwork for the administrative and political achievements that would define his later reign. Invasion of Persia. Alexander the Great's invasion of Persia, beginning in 334 BCE, stands as a monumental chapter in the annals of ancient warfare and conquest. Armed with an audacious vision inspired by his divine destiny and fueled by an insatiable thirst for glory, Alexander embarked on a campaign that would shape the course of history. The invasion of Persia marked the commencement of a relentless pursuit to avenge historical grievances and realize his ambition of unifying East and West under his rule. As Alexander crossed the Hellespont with his army, he faced the daunting challenge of confronting the mighty Persian Empire, ruled by King Darius III. The Persian Empire, with its vast expanse and formidable military, seemed an insurmountable foe. However, fueled by strategic brilliance and unwavering confidence, Alexander moved swiftly through Asia Minor, displaying a level of military innovation and adaptability that would become his hallmark. The Battle of Granicus. The Battle of Granicus in 334 BCE stands as the first major engagement of Alexander's invasion of Persia. Fought near the Granicus River in Asia Minor, this clash between the Macedonian and Persian forces would set the tone for Alexander's military strategy and showcase his exceptional leadership on the battlefield. Facing a numerically superior Persian force led by regional satraps and Greek mercenaries, Alexander demonstrated his tactical prowess. Opting for a bold and direct approach, he personally led the charge across the Granicus River, engaging the Persian forces in fierce hand-to-hand combat. The battle was not without its challenges, as the rocky terrain and the Persians' strategic advantage posed significant hurdles. Yet Alexander's decisive and daring leadership proved instrumental in securing victory. The Macedonian phalanx, a formation perfected under the influence of his father, King Philip II, played a pivotal role. Alexander's personal courage and strategic acumen turned the tide, resulting in a resounding triumph that sent shockwaves throughout the Persian Empire. The Conquest of Asia Minor. The conquest of Asia Minor unfolded as a series of strategic masterstrokes, solidifying Alexander's reputation as a military genius. After the Battle of Granicus, he continued his march through Asia Minor, encountering both resistance and submission from various city-states and satraps. One of the pivotal moments in this campaign was the siege of Halicarnassus in 334 BCE. The city, fortified and defended by the Persian naval commander Memnon, presented a formidable challenge. However, Alexander's ingenuity and adaptability shone through as he employed siege engines and innovative tactics, ultimately securing victory. Cities such as Ephesus, Sardis, and Gordium fell before the advancing Macedonian forces. The Persian satraps, recognizing the futility of resisting Alexander's relentless advance, either submitted or faced the consequences of military defeat. The Gordian knot, a legendary and seemingly unbreakable knot tied by King Gordius, became a symbolic demonstration of Alexander's resourcefulness as he allegedly cut through it with a single stroke, claiming the region as his own. The conquest of Asia Minor marked the initial phase of Alexander's grand vision to subdue the Persian Empire. His military brilliance, combined with a blend of strategic maneuvering and tactical innovation, laid the groundwork for a series of conquests that would culminate in the transformation of the known world. The victories in the Battle of Granicus and the conquest of Asia Minor showcased not only Alexander's martial prowess, but also his ability to adapt, improvise, and overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges on his relentless journey of conquest. Egypt and founding the Library of Alexandria. After the decisive victory at Issus in 333 BCE, Alexander the Great turned his attention southwards towards Egypt, a key strategic and economic hub. His entrance into Egypt was met with open arms by the local population, who saw him as a liberator from Persian rule. In 332 BCE, Alexander founded the city of Alexandria at the western edge of the Nile Delta, envisioning it as a cosmopolitan center that would bridge the gap between Europe and Africa. The choice of Alexandria's location was not arbitrary. Its proximity to the Mediterranean and the Red Sea facilitated maritime trade, and the city quickly flourished into a bustling metropolis. Alexander's strategic insight in founding Alexandria not only secured Egypt within his expanding empire, but also laid the foundation for a city that would become a cultural and economic epicenter in the centuries to come. The Siege of Tyre. The island city of Tyre, fortified and surrounded by the sea, presented a formidable obstacle to Alexander's conquest. In 332 BCE, he embarked on a determined and unprecedented siege of Tyre. The city, situated on an island just off the coast, initially resisted Alexander's advances. Undeterred, he employed innovative military engineering, constructing a causeway that connected the mainland to the island. The siege of Tyre lasted 7 months, demonstrating both Alexander's strategic brilliance and the unwavering determination of his forces. The successful breach of Tyre's defenses marked a turning point in Alexander's campaign, opening the door to the conquest of the eastern Mediterranean. The fall of Tyre also sent a powerful message to other city-states contemplating resistance. Alexander was an adversary who would overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges to achieve his objectives. The Battle of Gaugamela. The Battle of Gaugamela, fought in 331 BCE, stands as the pinnacle of Alexander's military conquests, a clash that would determine the fate of the Persian Empire. Located in the heart of Mesopotamia, near present-day Erbil in Iraq, Gaugamela was the stage for a monumental confrontation between Alexander and Darius III. Darius III, seeking to reverse his earlier defeats, amassed a vast and diverse army for the Battle of Gaugamela. The Persian forces, comprising infantry, cavalry, and war elephants, outnumbered Alexander's troops. Despite the numerical disadvantage, Alexander's strategic brilliance shone through. Employing a flexible and adaptive formation, he exploited gaps in the Persian lines, effectively neutralizing the threat posed by the war elephants. The Battle of Gaugamela culminated in a resounding victory for Alexander. Darius III fled the battlefield, leaving behind not only his royal chariot, but also his family and treasury. The defeat at Gaugamela spelled the end of Persian resistance, marking the collapse of the Achaemenid Empire. Alexander, hailed as the master of strategy and tactics, now stood as the unrivaled ruler of an empire stretching from Greece to the heart of Persia. Persepolis and burning of the palace. Despite his restraint in the initial conquest of Persepolis, a moment of controversy unfolded when Alexander decided to set fire to the royal palace. In 330 BCE, the historic palace of Xerxes I, the symbol of Persian might, was engulfed in flames. The motivations behind this act remain a subject of historical debate. Some argue it was a strategic move to demoralize the Persians further, while others speculate that it was a response to a rumored act of arson at the Acropolis in Athens. The burning of Persepolis marked a poignant moment in Alexander's conquest, raising questions about the balance between military strategy and cultural preservation. Regardless of the motivations, this event left an indelible mark on Alexander's legacy, shaping perceptions of him as a conqueror who left an enduring impact on the civilizations he encountered. Pursuit of Darius III. Even with the fall of Persepolis, the Persian resistance persisted. Darius III, the embattled Persian king, continued to elude Alexander's grasp. The pursuit of Darius became a saga of cat and mouse, with the Persian ruler fleeing eastward, desperately attempting to rally support for a counter-offensive against the encroaching Macedonian forces. The pursuit reached its climax in 330 BCE, when Darius III was betrayed by his own satraps and left at the mercy of Bessus, a Persian noble. The death of Darius marked a turning point in the narrative, leaving Alexander as the undisputed ruler of Persia. Despite the enmity between them, Alexander honored Darius in death, providing him a royal funeral and punishing those responsible for his demise. The Indian Campaign. Fueling his insatiable desire for conquest, Alexander turned his attention towards the Indian subcontinent. The Indian Campaign, initiated in 327 BCE, took the Macedonian forces into the vast and uncharted territories east of the Persian Empire. This phase of the conquest would test both the mettle of Alexander's army and the limits of his vision for a unified world empire. The Indian Campaign witnessed engagements with various regional powers, including the formidable Porus, a ruler in the Punjab region. Despite facing logistical challenges, fierce resistance, and the weariness of his troops, Alexander pressed on, driven by a desire to reach the edge of the world. The campaign marked a blending of cultures, as Greek and Indian civilizations intersected, leaving an indelible impact on both. Battle of Hydaspes. The culmination of Alexander's Indian campaign occurred at the Battle of Hydaspes in 326 BCE, where he faced the formidable Porus, an Indian king known for his valor and military prowess. The Hydaspes River served as the backdrop for a clash that would be etched in the annals of military history. Despite Porus's resistance, Alexander's strategic brilliance prevailed. The Macedonians, with their advanced tactics and well-disciplined army, overcame the Indian forces. The Battle of Hydaspes demonstrated the adaptability of Alexander's military strategies as he successfully incorporated Indian elephants into his own cavalry. Porus, despite his defeat, earned Alexander's respect, and the two forged a diplomatic understanding that saw Porus reinstated as a vassal ruler. As Alexander pushed deeper into the Indian subcontinent, the challenges became increasingly insurmountable. The weariness of his soldiers, the daunting prospect of facing more powerful regional kings, and the sheer vastness of the unexplored territories prompted dissent among his troops. It was at the Beas River that the limits of Alexander's conquests became apparent. The turning point came when Alexander's troops, exhausted and homesick, refused to advance further. The famous incident of the mutiny at the Hyphasis in 326 BCE marked the first instance where Alexander's indomitable will clashed with the limits of human endurance. Faced with the stark reality that his soldiers were unwilling to continue, Alexander reluctantly agreed to turn back. The decision to retreat marked a significant departure from Alexander's relentless pursuit of conquest. Despite the disappointment, he navigated the return journey with military precision, ensuring that his legacy remained intact. The challenges faced in India, coupled with the realization that his empire had reached its practical limits, forced Alexander to contemplate the complexities of governance and the management of a diverse, far-reaching realm. The Hellenistic period. The Hellenistic period, spanning from the death of Alexander in 323 BCE to the establishment of the Roman Empire in the 1st century BCE, witnessed the fusion of Greek and Eastern cultures. Alexander's vast empire was divided among his generals, known as the Diadochi, who founded their own Hellenistic states. These successor states, including the Ptolemaic Kingdom in Egypt, the Seleucid Empire in the east, and the Antigonid Kingdom in Macedon, maintained Greek influence while adopting and assimilating local customs. Alexander's legacy extends beyond political boundaries to the realms of art, philosophy, and literature. The Hellenistic period became a crucible of cultural exchange, where Greek ideas blended with Persian, Egyptian, and Indian traditions. This cultural diffusion, known as Hellenization, influenced architecture, sculpture, and language. Cities founded by Alexander, such as Alexandria, became centers of learning and cultural diversity, fostering an environment where Greek, Egyptian, and Eastern scholars could collaborate and contribute to the intellectual flourishing of the time. The division of Alexander's empire among his generals resulted in the creation of Hellenistic states, each with its own distinct character. The Ptolemaic kingdom in Egypt flourished as a center of commerce and intellectual pursuits, while the Seleucid Empire in the east became a melting pot of Greek and Persian cultures. These states, though united by a common Hellenistic thread, developed unique identities shaped by the amalgamation of diverse traditions. The personal life of Alexander. Beyond the battlefield, Alexander's personal life showcased facets of his character that went beyond the realm of military conquests. Alexander maintained close relationships with his generals, fostering a sense of camaraderie and mutual respect. Despite occasional disagreements, his ability to inspire loyalty was evident in the unwavering support of key figures like Hephaestion, Ptolemy, and Seleucus. The bond between Alexander and his soldiers was equally profound, forged through shared hardships during the arduous campaigns. This camaraderie contributed to the unparalleled cohesion of his army. One of Alexander's distinctive qualities was his openness to diverse cultures. Rather than imposing Greek customs, he embraced the practices of the regions he conquered. This cultural blending extended to his court, where Persian and Greek nobles coexisted. The policy of tolerance and acceptance contributed to the stability of his empire. The latter years of Alexander's life were marred by challenges, mutinies, and controversies, culminating in his untimely demise. In 324 BCE at Opis, Alexander faced the first significant signs of discontent among his soldiers. The prolonged military campaigns had taken a toll on the morale of the army, leading to demands for repatriation. To appease his troops, Alexander initiated the mass wedding ceremonies known as the Susian weddings, where his officers married Persian noblewomen. While this gesture aimed at fostering unity, it fueled resentment among the Macedonian soldiers. The end of greatness. Alexander succumbed to a sudden illness in Babylon in 323 BCE at the age of 32. The circumstances surrounding his death remain shrouded in mystery, with theories ranging from natural causes to poison. His passing left a power vacuum and set the stage for a tumultuous period of infighting among his generals. The circumstances of Alexander's death sparked controversies and conspiracies that persisted throughout history. Some theories suggest that he succumbed to a fever exacerbated by wounds sustained in battles, while others propose poisoning as a deliberate act. The lack of a clear successor and the absence of a designated heir intensified the power struggles among the Diadochi, leading to the fragmentation of Alexander's empire. That ends Alexander, and also of this video. If you learned something new, don't forget to leave a like and follow for more discoveries in time.